For Equestria, Assassin's Remourse by The Crystal King, Chapter 1. The year is 2017. Many years has passed since an unknown organization wages a constant bloody war in the shadows with the Templar Order. The unknown group of fanatics as the Templar would describe them, is called the Assassins, a group of highly trained individuals who dedicated themselves on stopping the Templar Order from completing their ultimate goal, total control over the people. The Templar Order is weakening, and the Assassins have them on the run. One young assassin must embark a mission to take out one of the Templar's assets. Robert grew up most of his life in the chaos of assassins. They trained them, molded them into one of their own. Most of the young ones failed the training course, but out of all of them, Robert excelled beyond even their limits. Something drives this young man to enact such determination. Revenge, rage, or maybe the pure desire of seeing the Templar Order crumble beneath them. Who knows? Robert peers over a corner in a nearby alleyway. Before him lies a large compound that brightened the night sky. He hums a certain tone as he glares at the compound, with a hint of boredom printed on his face. While he hums to himself, he notices half a dozen Templar agents in armored cars pass a security checkpoint. While this happens, his earpiece begins to spike up, which gained his attention. Clicking on the earpiece, he was met with the familiar voice of the guild's communications officer, Carlos. The compound is heavily guarded, Robert said. Damn. Well, if you're lucky, we're lucky for you. The sewers runs through the compound. Over to your left is a manhole, Carlos confirmed. Do you see it? Robert glances over his left to indeed see a manhole. Yep, he replied before opening the manhole and sliding it over. He was met with a repulsive smell. Ugh, damn that smell. Hey, it's better than getting shot, right? Carlos said with a hint of cockiness in his voice. Shut up. He quickly switched off his earpiece before removing the hatch with a little effort as he descended into the foul-smelling sewers. He made his way down the damp, long sewers at the stream of decontaminated water could be heard from afar. This means he must be close to the entrance of the basement of the Templar-controlled factory, but also near his target. He full on sprinted as he saw a glimpse of light searing through on the ground, leaning upwards, indicating that he was near the manhole that the observatory was located. After arriving at the manhole, he grabbed a hold of the ladder before ascending upwards into the Templar observatory. He instead his hidden blade into a crack before hitting it as the manhole opened, sliding it sideways with a thud. He crawled out as he observed his surroundings closely. Dusting himself off, he found that he was in the janitor dorm room. Noticing that he was in a cramped, dark room with only a small light bulb that was flickering rapidly. He found himself checking his equipment to make sure that they were all working properly. All assassins are to have a hidden blade when working on a contract. Packing with him was a few poison knives that his mentor allowed, so if the Templars managed to spot him, he can silence them real quickly. But also packing with him was a standard M4 pistol if this contract goes south. He opened the door as he was met with a sudden pulse of unknown energy that was vividly seen in the air as a bright blue light was seen around the large absurdity in the wavy motion. This piqued his curiosity, so he decided to investigate this unknown blue light. Getting to a proper position behind a large crate, he soon began to hear voices echoing off the large room. "Sir, the portal is stabilized." "Sir, the portal is stabilized," said a young female voice. "Ah, good now. We can move on to step 2, said the awfully familiar rough deep voice. "Report to the Grand Master and tell him that Project Nova is in effect." He heard footsteps heading right to him. As they grew closer, he stepped into the shadows, holding his breath, as a young woman slowly passed in front of him, just merely inches from his position. But luckily, she didn't turn around. He moved his head, picking from the shadow corner, and just like according, Bobby was there. He was sitting down on a chair looking at something. Robert looked where Bobby was looking, and at his eyes widened in surprise. Flabbergasted, he was staring at a large ghost-like portal. The portal itself was nothing like anything he had seen. How could this happen? Did the Templars manage to actually open a rift between space and time? Why didn't the assassins stop this? Or did they even knew about this? He shook these thoughts aside, deciding not to interfere with the portal. Right now he must focus on the contract at hand, and that was to eliminate Bobby. He walked out of the shadows, slowly walking to Bobby as he unsheathed his hidden blade. But before he could get any further, he was stopped by Bobby's voice, speaking very huskily. "I know you're there, assassin," he spoke sickly. "And I know why you're here." "Then you know?" He nodded in response. "Yes, I do, and I fully accept what is coming," he says gravely. "But can you do this old man a favor?" He remained silent as Bobby turned his head to Robert, gazing into the hood full of strife. Finally, after what felt like hours, he got up from his seat before slowly limping his way to him. He stopped right before him, his eyes fixed at his baby blue eyes. "Beyond that portal lies another world." He motions over to the portal. "I would like you to explore this world and document your findings. I only want you to do this. Please, people must know what I found." Robert looked into his pleading brown eyes, trying to search for anything that he could be hiding. But while gazing into his eyes, his very soul, he could only find sorrow. He nodded as Bobby let out a sigh, knowing that his hard work could finally be expressed throughout the wide world, not in secret. Bobby sat down in his chair, looking at the portal's blueprints of the portal. His time has come. He lived a long, glorious life as director and asset for the Templar Order. The young assassin approached his target, unsheathing his hidden blade. Each step he made echoed across the wide room until he was right above him. "I'll make it quick," he inquired. He brought the blade to the scientist's neck, and after a breathless moment he plunged it into his spinal cord, severing the spine from his body, killing him instantly. Robert sheathed his blade before turning the chair towards him, glancing at glancing at Bobby's corpse. His eyes drained from life before him. He crouched down before reaching over to his eyes, closing them. "Diesen Paz, rest in peace," he said respectfully before getting up. But before he departed from the scene, a yell echoed across the room. He swiftly turned his head to the source, only to find a few Templar agents heading his way in search for blood. His blood, of course. Reacting quickly, he dashed to the nearest exit, but to find out that the Templar had all the exits covered. Shit. Now he only had two options left. One is to fight off as many Templar there is until he dies, or jump into the portal to see if Bobby was correct or not. Deciding not to die, he chose option 2. Well, maybe he'll die if Bobby was wrong, but also there was a chance that he would live. He pulled out his M4, firing a few rounds into a Templar that tried to charge him, leaving him riddled with holes. Finally, he reached into the portal as the Templars lagged behind. He hesitated as he looked at the ghostly portal, feeling unbeknownst engulfed his entire body. But he was snapped out of it as a group of Templars charged him, knocking him off balance as he fell into the portal with a group of Templars following suit.